Okay guys, Thursday skill work, we are going to be doing something with handstands. Today we're going to work on kipping handstand push-ups. So this is a more advanced skill, but still something that you can start working towards. We say strict handstand push-up work, pike push-ups is the foundational strength. As you start getting stronger, more comfortable there, start thinking about a more dynamic aspect of a kipping handstand push-up. So the bottom of a kipping handstand push-up is our head and hands end up in a position called a tripod. So for these drills, I want you to use a pad, okay, a nice soft pad, not like a little skinny one, something that will give you cushion, all right? And we want to just start by learning the tripod position. So the tripod means I'm going to create a triangle, right? My head and my two hands. This is an important position because a lot of times people try to do a handstand push-up and their hands and head make a straight line and the elbows flare out. We want to have the hands back, so at the bottom, our forearms are straight up and down, okay? The tripod itself, notice I'm on the top of my head, I'm not on my forehead. Top of my head, come up hips high, walk my feet forward. Elbow, this is the hard part for a lot of people. You want to have the weight evenly distributed between the hands and the head. This is a tripod, okay? Just getting comfortable in this position, okay? So that is just practicing a tripod. For people that don't like getting upside down, they haven't done much of that work, this is a great beginner drill. Now we can actually use this position to train the timing of doing a kipping handstand push-up. And it looks like this. You set yourself up in a tripod, okay? Bring your knees up, find that position, and then I'm going to kick out into a plank position, okay? So what I'm trying to learn to do is drive my hips first and then press out to finish. Just it's a timing drill more than anything and relatively safe. Okay, so again, set yourself up, drive the feet back, end up in a nice high plank. You don't want to be sagging your hips. So taking that drill to the wall. When we're talking about getting a handstand push-up, reducing the range of motion will always make it a little easier. So I can stack up. I got all types of pads I can use to stack up, and I'm going to start with basically a partial range of motion handstand push-up. What I want to reinforce is that tripod position. So my hands, when I set up, will be behind the mat, just like they were in the tripod drill. I have to be comfortable kicking up to a handstand. Okay, my chin is tucked, and then lowering myself into that tripod position. So see, my forearms are still similar. From here, the sequence is this. I push my hips on the wall, I bring my feet down and off the wall. So now I'm, see, similar to that tripod position I was in before, I drive up and try to lock out. Whole time my chin is tucked. I don't want to stare or come down like this. Again, I can go even higher with this if I need, like a little tiny kip up. But again, practicing this position, that tripod, and the timing, working range of motion. A lot of athletes have the strength, they just haven't practiced, so hopefully this helps you out. Let's talk about conditioning. Okay guys, our sweat conditioning. We did something similar last week, loaded carries. It's going to start off with a farmer's carry. So farmer's carry, typically 2 kettlebells, stand up tall, and then remember when you go, it's not just a walk, shuffle your feet, okay? Don't let your grip go to total failure, so rest as needed. From there, we're going to go into something else we don't do that often, a heavy sandbag. So heavy sandbag, this is only a 100-foot carry, okay? This is a 100-pounder. The prescribed weight's even heavier than this. If you've never done sandbag work and it's really heavy, you might have to do this in a couple sequences. So getting underneath the weight, right? You might have to rock it back and forth to get your hands underneath it. If it's really heavy, the first thing you want to do is basically deadlift it up to your knees. Okay, and then wrap your arms around it as much as you can, and from here you stand up, and then you're going to walk. Okay, so again, same thing, you can shuffle your feet as you go, get back to where you started. Okay, if you don't have a heavy sandbag, we also have heavy D-balls or the long sandbags. It just should be challenging. It shouldn't be just an easy pick it up and kind of walk with it. After that, we're going to do another new movement, which is jumping deck squats. So let me show you right here. Deck squats require good mobility in your squat. Okay, so you need to be relatively comfortable here. This is what I'll show you how we can scale using a blue mat. But basically a deck squat is this. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to roll back, come forward, and jump. Okay? So again, if you're really tight, we want to avoid, some people if they're tight in their hips, they'll come forward and they'll collapse forward. So try to avoid this position. And watch how using an elevated butt pad can help with mobility. So now I don't need to be as deep as I come through. I can come down, roll back, forward, and jump. So that's how you can make that easier. Okay? 20-minute AMRAP of those 3 movements, guys. Have fun with it. See you tomorrow.